Hello and welcome to episode 147 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am super excited to be back with you guys after a couple of weeks for another podcast episode. I don't have a ton of things to share with you today. It's kind of just the heat of summer, and I feel like everybody slows down just a little bit in the uni arts during this time of year. And I have been so busy with other things recently, but I do have a few fun projects to share with you guys, a couple of FOs, a design that I am slowly but surely chugging away on, and I cannot wait to release it next month. It's going to be so fun. Yeah, I really love it. You've seen it many times already, I know, but I'm excited to share it nonetheless. And yeah, today is Saturday, July, I don't know what today's date is. It's 15th, July 15th, halfway through July already, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like the summer has completely flown by, and it's gonna be fall before we know it, which is crazy that time passes by so quickly, but I also love fall and winter so much, so I'm excited for that season as well, and like all of the hats and makes and stuff like that that comes from the colder weather months. I'm really excited about that. But anyways, definitely still in summer right now, but let's go ahead and hop into the episode today with a couple of finished objects. Okay, my finished objects this week are the most random things ever, but I loved making them so much, so I thought I would just go ahead and share. So I got a Kindle within the last month. Absolutely love it, by the way. This, if you're curious, is the 2022 Kindle, just regular Kindle. It's not the Paperwhite or anything like that. I love it so much. It's amazing. I am so grateful for it, but we'll almost just throw it on the ground. But I wanted to have a little case for it that completely covered it if I was going to put it in another bag or something, or to travel, or whatever the case may be. And so I made a couple of little crocheted sleeves for it. This is the first one. It uses one of my favorite stitches, and I use 2 strands of yarn held together, and this is what it looks like. I think it is so cute. I do not have a pattern for either of these, but if that's something that you're interested in, let me know, and I could write it up. But anyway, so I made that one, and then this one I used the moss or linen stitch, and then 1 strand of a sock yarn actually, and I love the way that it turned out too. It's like a kind of more snug fit just because of the design of the stitch. And here's what that one looks like. So I mean, super random, just something that I had the idea to make, and they take no time at all, and so it was really fun to just kind of chill and make a couple. But yeah, 2 little Kindle sleeves. I'm actually gonna put this one on it and leave it on it. But yeah, super fun. I like having a little bit of protection, but I prefer this type of case. It's just one of the snap-on clear ones, and so I love being able to have an option to completely enclose it in something without like having to, open a flap or whatever every time I use it and kind of hold that together. Anyways, I just really like the way that both of those turned out. Alrighty, that is it for finished objects that aren't designs. I do have a couple of finished objects that is for a later design coming this month, so I'll share those in a second. But until then, let's talk about a couple of works in progress. Okay, the first design is something that you have seen multiple times already, but it is this blanket. I actually don't think it's grown that much, if any, since the last time I shared it either, but it will be growing a lot this week because I am so excited to get this thing done. But this is the wavy blanket that I am working on. It's in collaboration with Hobie for a challenge that they are doing. It's kind of just inspired by the sea and the waves, and it's just made with really lightweight cotton acrylic yarn blend, so it's perfect for summer, so drapey. So beautiful to work with, and I cannot wait to have this blanket done and just have it like kind of around my room during these summer months to just use, early in the morning or in the evening. I absolutely love the way that it's turning out. So that is that. I'm also using 2 strands of yarn held together, and I love the mold look so much. So yeah, hopefully this will be almost complete, if not complete, by the next episode. That is the goal. And then the next design that I have actually completed, I designed a super simple hat pattern to feature like Aran weight yarn or a heavier worsted weight yarn. I use Knit Picks Muse for both of these samples because that's exactly the yarn that I had in my stash and had in mind. And these are also both going to be gifts. Well, one of them is for the upcoming Christmas season at the end of the year. So I made this one with this super bright pink. Like I said, both of these are Muse hand painted from Knit Picks. I think this one is the Fearless colorway, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna add a pom-pom to the top of it and then it will be complete. And then this one, I forget. I think it might be like Spontaneous or something like that. I'm not 100, or Thrill. I think it's one of the two. But anyway, I absolutely love this palette so much. My hair is in a braid, so it's not gonna work perfectly, I don't think, but here's basically what it looks like. So it's really slouchy, really cozy. It's going to be written in multiple sizes, and so you're bound to find one that suits your head the best or the head of the recipient. Yeah, I love it. So this pattern is going to be releasing at the very beginning of fall. Like I said, just a super simple hat pattern. I love making hats so much, and so it's really important to me to be able to have like options for all of the different yarn weights available in my pattern shops, and like for my own personal aid. It's just really nice to be able to have something to reach for at any given time with any given yarn. It's really, really nice. And that's it for all of the knit and crochet content. I am working on a couple of designs behind the scenes. One is a secret and will not be launching until November. And then the other I am just barely getting started on, but it's also a Christmas design for a company. So it's kind of weird to show it now anyway. So I'm just gonna hold off on both of those. But yeah, I do have a little devotional that I would love to share with you guys. So let's talk about that for a few minutes. So for devotional today, I wanted to share a book that I just finished this morning, and it was so good. I cannot recommend it enough. So it's called When Christ Comes, the Beginning of the Very Best by Max Lucado. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce his last name, but this is so good. It's the first book, I think, that I read by this author. One of my best friends recommended a book to me from him, and I actually have that book. I'm going to be reading it very, very soon, but I already had this one on my shelf, and so I wanted to kind of give it a try to, like, you know, see if I enjoy the author and things like that, and I so totally did. It was such a good book, focusing on the beauty and the awe of just celebrating the fact that Jesus is going to come back. We don't know when it's going to be, but we know pieces of what it's going to be like, and just how breathtakingly amazing it is to even imagine him returning. The book actually starts with it's basically the author's idea of what it could look like when Christ comes back. So, you know, obviously we don't know it for sure. The Bible reveals bits and pieces, but for the most part we don't know a lot of what to expect, and we don't know when it's going to be. But this author just kind of wrote a little description of what it might be like, and I actually wanted to take the time to just read it to you guys. It's kind of long, but yeah, I thought it would be special just to read it aloud because I thought it was so, so beautiful. So, you were in your car driving home. Thoughts wander to the game you want to see or meal you want to eat, when suddenly a sound unlike any you've ever heard fills the air. The sound is high above you. A trumpet, a choir of trumpets. You don't know, but you want to know. So you pull over, get out of your car, and look up. As you do, you see you aren't the only curious one. The roadside has become a parking lot. The doors are open, the people are staring at the sky. Shoppers are racing out of the grocery store. The Little League baseball game across the street has come to a halt. Players and parents are searching the clouds. And what they see, and what you see, has never before been seen. As if the sky were a curtain, the drapes of the atmosphere apart. A brilliant light spills onto the earth. There are no shadows, none. From whence came the light begins to tumble a river of color, spiking crystals of every hue ever seen, and a million more never seen. Riding on the flow is an endless fleet of angels. They pass through the curtains one myriad at a time until they occupy every square inch of the sky. North, south, east, west, thousands of silvery wings rise and fall in unison, and over the sound of the trumpets you can hear the cherubim and seraphim chanting, Holy, holy, holy. The final flank of angels is followed by 24 silver-bearded elders and a multitude of souls who join the angels in worship. Presently the movement stops, and the trumpets are silent, leaving only the triumphant trumpet, Holy, holy, holy. Between each word is a pause, with each word a profound reverence. You hear your voice in the chorus. You don't know why you say the words, but you know you must. It goes on a little bit longer, but I just think it was my first time ever reading like a description of what it could be like. And it was so beautiful and so amazing hearing it for the first time. And that last part, you don't know why you say the words, but you know you must. There's going to be a time where every knee will bow and every tongue will confess, and some will be going back to heaven with Jesus, and some won't. And as difficult as that is to imagine, we can also hold on to the hope that we have right now, that he is coming back, and we can make the decision now to follow him and to pursue him and to surrender our lives to him, and to give him glory and praise in all things. So yeah, I highly recommend that book. I will link it down below if you want to check it out yourself. But it was so good. So good. And I actually finished both of the books that I was currently reading this morning, so now I get to start some more, and that is very, very exciting. So that is on the agenda after I finish this episode. But anyways, I hope that was an encouragement for you. If you have any book like recommendations or anything, let me know. Yeah, I would love to hear whatever you're enjoying reading, some of your favorite authors. I love like books like that, by Christian authors, personal development and things like that, but I also love a really good fiction book as well. So if you have any recommendations, definitely let me know. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. We actually just hit 4,000 subscribers, which is so fun, and I'm so grateful for each of you. So thank you so much for subscribing and being here. It means a lot. So I hope that you all have a great week full of so much banking, and I will see you again soon. Bye.